Why do you keep your hair growing out?
Why? I don't know. Well, okay. I just like it, and then like there's like there's a couple things with it, right? So there's a thing with like I guess with long hair, and there's like all these things where I'm like, oh, like my hair just does this like when I just move like this or whatever, and I'm like, oh, it wouldn't do that. If you had like your little short hair, it wouldn't do that again. And I guess less so than like, because I think about cutting my hair and I think about not cutting my hair.
It's
and like
been
whatever.
long for a while.
Yeah, totally. I think about cutting it sometimes and not or whatever, but I think more like why. So that I don't really think about that much, like in a way that it's like a big thing or a little thing. Like it's like it'll get cut one day or what, whatever. But I think it's more like people are like, well, why would you not have your hair like the way it was, like the kind of like swoop thing? And I don't really know how to explain it to someone other than like when you're something about you becomes so big that it's like a Halloween costume.
Yeah. The emo night hair.
Yeah, there's a like true danger to me at least, if you don't authentically love the way it is, there's a danger in becoming like a parody of yourself, like where you're like, I've like looked at myself even in the wigs and stuff, and I'm like, well, dude, if you don't like believe this is how you should look and you don't own it, like
it's not you.
Yeah, it looks like it feels like a parody. It feels like an SNL skit kind of, you know what I mean? And that's not to say, like, listen, like, I see, like, kids rocking all kinds of, like, rad style that, like, I definitely could not rock, and kids doing, like, throwback versions of the style, but, like, with their own updated thing to it, whatever, which I think is awesome. It's just, like, I just have to, like, look the way I feel like looking, I guess. As we all do, you know what I mean? Like, as much as you can control how you feel on the inside, going to the outside, you have to, like, control that, or, like,
Fuck yeah. I at first I thought that like the growth of hair could be connected to time, but it is interesting that like you did really kind of coin a hairstyle that would go on to, again, I've used generationally define once before. I'd say go on to define a generation, but also like go on to inspire like the Justin Bieber hairstyle and a bunch of hairstyles that then would be fucking made fun of and
totally
examined and
totally
looked at for fucking decades later.
Totally. It's one of those ones where you're like,
I mean, I have it, brother.
Was there a way to get a royalty on this? Like I would that's the Bezos money right there.
You get paid on the wigs?
That would be the Bezos money. Yeah, I just like, for me,
that must feel like shit though, kind of weirdly too, because something that was yours that you loved ended up becoming everybody else's, but then a joke.
Yeah. Maybe in the moment, like if we were in 2010 and I was like feeling like low about other shit, like, yeah, for sure. But I think that like the thing you were talking about time is like, now the more time that's gone by, like I appreciate that anybody like cared about any of it or anybody blogged about it. Like I really appreciate like when someone comes up to me and they're like, I only like the take this to your grave or whatever. Like I'm like, God damn, it's cool that you like any of it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I really do have an appreciation for it that I think 10, 15 years ago that I wouldn't. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even make the Hold Me Like a Grudge video where the hair, like, there's different hair, because there's a bunch of different hair in that video. Like, I wore so many fucking wigs, man. It's like, I was peeling glue off my head forever. But, like, I wouldn't have even done that, because I couldn't have even, like, felt comfortable with it. You know what I mean? Like, there was times when I was wearing the like arms race wig and I was like, this is hilarious, because I'm like that guy 15 years later. It's like there's something so funny about this.